sure that your knife is sharp. Shall we test it? Well, let's say it's pretty sharp. What do you think? Sharp enough? Now, nice big whole loin. And what we're going to do is I'm going to peel off see, this is the neck end on this side. This is the sirloin end on the back end. But what we want to do is take this stuff, which is a little bit fattier. Now, if you're making adobo, do you want fat on it? Ksenia, do we want fat on it? Yes. So we're going to follow this whole thing that came off the ribs. By the way, before you, what's besides sharpening the knife, what should you do to your hands before you start? Hello? Wash them, especially in times of COVID. So that was actually the very first thing I did. You didn't see that on camera, but it did get done. That nice big chunk of meat, and that's going to either become either adobo or what you call it, souvlaki. So we're basically trying to isolate this one big. Do you want to come over and have a look at this a little closer? I'll stop for a second. Sirloin end, and I'm just going to keep on working my fingers in along these connection points, because I would like to take off this little piece that follows. It was originally, I think, attached to the ribs. On a boneless pork chop, it doesn't look very nice, but for souvlaki or for adobo, it's got that right mix of meat and fat. And do we want the fat in here? Correct answer is? What's the correct answer?
Yes.
Yes. Because fat makes food taste. Fat makes food taste.
Right.
Good, exactly. That's why you put a little bit of butter on your toast. Because dry toast. Okay, now we'll flip our pork loin over. Now if you notice, it's kind of got the end piece, it's kind of like so. We're gonna hack that off so we get a nice clean piece, and that can get chopped up later. Now, see, there's a nice layer of fat on here. Do we want to leave that layer of fat on your pork chop? Yes or no? What does fat do to food? It makes it taste good? Yes. So we're going to leave this layer of fat. It's not very thick, a little thicker in here. But we're going to leave that on there. Because once we actually turn these into a pork chop, we want to leave that little bit of fat on the exterior. Now, once you cook it up, if you don't like that fat, can you cut it off? Absolutely. Put our next cutting board right here. Oh. Strip of meat I didn't realize I had. Okay, so we want to make them about 3/4 of an inch. See how nice and firm they are? A little bit of fat on them. Package of 5 or package of 6? Okay, there's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do with this video. Once you have it edited, you can send it off to cousin Steve down in Georgia and says, this is what you do with, in this case it happens to be US pork, because you can tell on the label if it's Canadian pork. There's a little symbol on it that says Canada, and this one, the one on this one said US pork. So you can buy a whole loin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. Okay, that's. And what all are we going to make with this thing yet? Jerk pork, pork chops. Let's see if we can get 5 more pork chops out of this. We can always take a set of pork chops and turn them back into something else or chop them up more. Once you got them chopped, you can't unchop them, right? A little tough. We got 3 sets of 5. Should we make 1 set of 5? Actually, let's do this. Let's make a set of 6. 3 sets of 5. Yeah? Alright. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one yet. We could always take another 5 pieces of that. But before we do that, let's chop up our